Second in the catbird seat, but Brock, Piatek, and Burkhardt's not too far back. If they all get together, Greg, who knows what's left?
Absolutely, and just taking a look here, Forster and Ricks and Greeny are not that far back either of Burkhardt at this stage, so see what he's able to do. He's pretty much on his own at this point, but here we go. Last lap, white flag, and boy, I'll tell you, Rice Puto looking really, really stout here. Hibbett, see the back of that car stepping out just a little bit. There's Burkhardt in the back.
And really, Rice Puto's kind of a sitting duck on that back straightaway if Hibbett is within 3 or 4 tenths of a second. Much beyond that, it gets pretty challenging to eat up that ground with the draft. So he's got to stay close. No mistakes on this run up the uphill.
An interesting little flick there that Rice Puto had. Didn't really go apex to apex in a straight line. And that may have given up a little bit of that already minuscule margin back to Camden Hibbett. Boy, Hibbett is there now, up through the climbing S's. He's just got to be patient, right, Kyle? Wait. Don't try anything now. Get it done on that back straight.
But you have to nail this run out of Oak Tree and do not cut the corner. We've seen drivers get caught for that all night. You see him check up there. Rice Puto tries to back him up, but Hibbett's close enough now. If he plays this draft right, it's going to be a side-by-side into roller coaster, Greg. Which side do you choose? If you're the leader, which side do you choose if you're the attacker?
You can see Rice Puto right now trying to cover it by working both sides of the game here, and I'm not seeing Hibbett make up a lot of ground, and Skip Brock could be a big beneficiary here. Rice Puto continuing to do the bob and weave. All right, here comes Hibbett. He's on the bumper now. He's going to look to the inside, but he's going to be on the wrong side of the track for this turn. Oh, Rice Puto runs just a little bit wide. Hibbett side by side down the hill. If Hibbett can stay put, he's got to stay put around this turn and then have the inside into Hogpen, excuse me. And the number 10 of Rice Puto clipped the curb. That opened that up. Piatek knifes through on Skip Brock. Here we come to the line. Burkhardt has closed up. Can Hibbett hang on? There's still drafting opportunity here. To the line they come. It is Hibbett over Rice Puto. How close could it be? 1/10 even the margin from Hibbett to Rice Puto, and excuse me, now it's changed 98 1/1000ths from Hibbett to Rice Puto, and look at that. That's actually a smile from Camden Hibbett.
Let's move on now to a race 1 winner, Camden Hibbett. Race 1, you snuck through there and stole one. Take us through that dramatic last lap, getting up to the front.
Yeah, it was an interesting finish for sure. I wasn't really expecting to. I didn't really want to go where I ended up going, if that makes sense. I was trying to. He had been outbraking himself the past 2 or 3 laps in that spot, so I figured he was either going to make a mistake or underbrake. So I was trying to outbrake him into, I think that's roller coaster, and he just went straight on, and I was slow. I was checked up enough where I could get back underneath him. Cross him over, and it was pretty much a drag race from there on. I figured I had to get the move done before the final corner because I struggle in the final corner for whatever reason. I don't know. Just I don't like how the final corner is laid out. So I figured I had to get it done before then, so that's why I was driving super aggressive and coming into Hogpen. But yeah, it was a wild race. It was great racing with Nick, as always. It was super clean, super fun.
Well, and I'll tell you what, that move, the initial move you made, it looked like that, pinched him. It just pinned him, so he had a little bit more speed than he could actually do the angle. And, when he ran wide. But the impressive thing to me, and I said to Kyle, on that last lap, all the way from the entry to roller coaster to the checkered flag, you played a great game of chess. Because once you pinned him there and he ran wide, you got to you had to stay on the outside through 15 and 16, which isn't easy enough. And then when you exited Hogpen, I don't know whether this was intentional. I know you got the curb a little bit there, but you could see he was trying to square you up and get underneath, and you exited right where he was trying to go. And that he just had to check up again. So even if that wasn't intentional, it was still, like I said, it was a great game of chess.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to give him a taste of his own medicine a little bit because coming out of Oak Tree, he checked me up too. Well, actually, I guess it was going into Oak Tree. But right in the middle there, he kind of backed up to me. which actually I think ended up helping me. I think I had a little bit of nose damage or something. I didn't feel it quite as strong in the draft. So I think that actually helped me getting more tucked underneath him and get next to him early. And then it's a weird entry, that brake zone. If you're on the or I guess on the right side of the track, you can't really. You have to turn the middle of the brake zone, and you have to almost come out of the brakes almost completely. And it's a really weird brake zone when you're too wide. And I've found that I think personally I'm more comfortable on the left side of that brake zone. Okay. So I don't know if he just outbroke himself because he has little experience having to lift in that brake zone a little bit. But yeah, out of hog pen, I wasn't really trying to check him up, but I kind of underdrove the corner a little bit just to make sure I didn't run up into him. And it ended up working in my favor to check him up a little bit, and ended up beating him to the line there. I think it was 98 thousandths or something like that, tenths of a second. Yeah. It was really tight.
Really, really close. And obviously it was apparent after you, in the second race, when you got into Morgan, when he got hit and spun right in front of you, you had some serious damage because your lap times just started dropping.
Yeah, the draft was pretty much non-existent at that point. I was almost losing people down the straightaway. The only way I could even hang with anybody in the draft was when I was within a tenth of a second. So it was a unfortunate break, but looking back at it, it was just a racing deal. I was thinking Morgan was gonna hold the brakes and just kind of lock it down to the middle of the track, and he got hit again and thrown right into my lap. So it's what it is. It's a racing deal, but it was fun racing with I think it was Spencer Conrad. At the end there. So yeah, fun racing all night though.
Yeah, well, and a great job in that first race. Just some absolutely great driving, and you're when we get you on camera while you're driving, you've got a serious focus going, and we saw you make that pass, and when you crossed the line, we saw just the slightest hint of a smile, and we went, "He's a happy guy, Camden." Awfully well done, bud.
Thank you.
Thanks, Camden. Have a good night.
Thanks, you guys too.